Welcome to the Truth Zone, Truth.
Hello, my name is Jarrett Sleeper, and I'm a simple man, a man who once in a while would host pop culture and lifestyle programming for the internet at Clever TV, now defunct. Because Defy Media, the parent company of Clever TV, shut its doors abruptly on November 6th, 2018, coincidentally the day of the midterm elections in the United States. Now, I can be a bit of a joker. I like to have my fun. And when I saw everybody posting closure videos about their time at Defy and Clever and their experiences of what really seemed to be going on there, I thought, well, I better get in on this. I should make a video too. But like I said, shucks, I'm a joker. I can't help but goof off. I thought to myself, I'll make a funny conspiracy video. I love doing that, telling people the truth about the Illuminati. Well, I got to Googling. Let me tell you something, boys and girls. There's one thing you want to be careful about. It's Googling. Because as I went searching for my little joke conspiracy, well, I uncovered a tale. It's a true tale. A possible true tale. I don't know. All I'm doing is looking at the things that exist right there for all of us to Google. And I'm sorry if I can't help but connect some dots in the coloring book of truth. I shall now tell you the tale of what I've discovered. Defy Media was a company funded by a $70 million investment in September of 2016 by Wellington Management. Side note about Wellington Management. Wellington Management happens to be one of 3 firms that were investigated by the Boston FBI office for insider trading related to 9/11 because allegedly one of their largest clients was Osama bin Laden. Well, the investigation found it wasn't bin Laden himself, it was just bin Laden's family, so no big deal. Pay no mind to the fact that the FBI didn't even interview the suspects in the case. But I digress. Back to Defy. Wellington Management, the CEO of which is a man named Brendan J. Swords. That's right, folks. That's a real name. You can Google it, though I don't recommend it. One interesting fact I found out about Brendan Swords is that he graduated from Harvard Business School in 1989. 1989. So I go Googling around, seeing who else graduated from Harvard Business School in 1989. And I find this man, Leonard Blavatnik. Leonard Blavatnik is a billionaire, a dual citizen of the US and the UK. He made his money in aluminum during the collapse of the Soviet Union. Blavatnik is currently part of the investigation into GOP corruption, ongoing investigation. Blavatnik donated $6.35 million to Republican political candidates in the 2015 to 2016 election season. $2.5 million Mitch McConnell, $1.5 million to Marco Rubio, Scott Walker for $1.1 million, Lindsey Graham $800,000, John Kasich $250,000, John McCain $200,000, and another $1 million after all of that to Trump's inaugural committee. Oh, you'd like to know more about how implicated in the corruption he is? Okay. Blavatnik also sat on the board of Rusal, the world's second largest aluminum company, based out of Russia. That is until he resigned on November 10th, 2016, just 2 days after Trump's election, and a month after Defy Media had been purchased. More on that later. I wonder why he resigned. Perhaps it was to create distance between himself and Rusal founder Oleg Deripaska. Not only does Deripaska have close ties to Putin, funneling him billions of dollars, but also he made payments in the amount of $10 million annually. That's each year, starting in 2006 to none other than convicted Republican lobbyist, Trump supporter, former teammate, Paul Manafort. Yeah, that one from the news. He made these payments through the Bank of Cyprus. Victor Vekselberg is the majority shareholder there, who just so happens to be the main business partner. You guessed it. Leonid Blavatnik. Excuse me. He changed his first name to the much less Ukrainian-sounding Leonard. Leonard Blavatnik. So here's where we stand. We know that Blavatnik is a definite Russian meddler. And we know that he went to school the same year, graduated the same year, from the same exclusive business academy 1989. As Brendan J. Swords, president of Wellington Management, buyer of Defy Media. Now, before we go any further, you have to understand who Defy Media is and how they position themselves in the marketplace. They very smartly presented themselves to Wall Street investors as the savvy company, the in-the-know digital media company. In a March 2016 article released by Business Wire, Defy Media announced the release of their 4th annual Acumen Report. What's the Acumen Report, you ask? Well, you can Google it. It's online. It's a report that will most likely make young people at home like you feel dirty, because you'll see that you're reduced to nothing more than a series of numbers and graphs to them. Numbers like how 92% of you watch an average of 11.3 hours a week on YouTube or similar social media platform. Or numbers like how 62% of you would buy an item if someone on the internet told you to, versus only 49% who would buy it if someone on TV told you to. It also contains gross graphs like this one, where they boil down the inner life of you 13 to 24-year-olds as existing on a spectrum between rebellious and reflective. Ugh. This is a fun glimpse at how authenticity and humanity are boiled down to a sad science by advertisers, marketers, and other business dipshits. It seems a little on the nose that they would have this Illuminati all-seeing eye right there on the page for no reason. And I'm crazy? It's right there in front of your face, folks. Defy Media bragged of their vast reach and ability to influence the young people with it, making themselves appealing to Wall Street business investors. How large a reach? How about 125 million viewers a month and 50 million YouTube subscribers? That's quite a network. 13 to 24-year-olds, future and current young voters. Young voters, a demographic that tends to go liberal. So now we have 2 old Harvard business schoolmates and 1 far-reaching media company and an election that we want to sway. Because it's 2016 in the spring when this article comes out, the primaries are going crazy. Trump actually seems to be on track to be the next president. So Russian meddling kicks into high gear. Maybe one of the Russian meddlers, the one who's already enthusiastic about entertainment, he did, after all, buy Warner Music Group for $3.3 billion in 2011. Maybe you ask him to start looking around for one of these new media outlets, a way that we can reach out and sway all these young voters, or at the very least, maybe even better, distract them from all our meddling. Maybe it goes like this. Blavatnik looks into his alumni network because he needs a way to keep himself clean of this. And he finds Wellington Management. Brendan J. Swords, who was his classmate at Harvard Business School in 1989. And he says, you know, I'm looking for someone who's got ties to media. Young people's media on the internet. You know anything about that? Maybe Brendan J. Swords notices Business Wire, or one of the other outlets that would have carried his press release. How about the Acumen Report? MCNs at the time were getting snapped up left and right. DreamWorks bought Awesomeness TV, AT&T bought Fullscreen, Style Hall bought, Collective bought, Disney got Maker for $500 million. It was all the rage to buy an MCN back then. So there weren't many left on the table. Defy was still there. And this Acumen Report seems like they've got a pretty good handle at how to dissect their audience and break them down to metrics. Perfect for meddling. Maybe they don't know if they should go ahead and do it. We still don't know if Trump's going to win. But as we get closer to the election that year in 2016, well, it seems like maybe, just maybe, the old game show host is going to do it. So a month before the election, September 2016, they announced that they pulled the trigger. Wellington bought Defy with its $70 million investment. And then Trump is elected a month later. And fast forward to us now, 2 years later, the midterm elections. When it's a known fact, documented and proven, the Russian meddling is all over the place. They think, well, I think we can get away with our typical fuckery. All over the country, there's reports of uncounted ballots and voting machines left locked in closets unused. One seat's already turned back over thanks to a recount, turning the seat from red to blue in Arizona. A 0.15% margin in Florida has also triggered a recount, although the Republican is trying to push through his win. Well, why wouldn't he try? I mean, after all, the state that stole the election for Bush in 2000, why should they have changed much in the last 18 years? So perhaps the Russian meddling, among their vast network of different plays and ploys out there, maybe they need to have some aces up their sleeves. Some small little distractions. What if you owned a media company with a wide reach across demographics into young people, people who tend to get upset about things like stolen elections? I mean, I'm not saying that Defy Media's closure was so devastating to Clever TV and Smosh fans that they were just beside themselves, incapable of going to the polls that day. However, if not only do you have some upset fans, but you also have a network of 40 to 50 highly influential influencers with their influencer friends, and they're all getting in a tizzy now, getting into a real riled up tizzy, because, well, their company left without paying them out, sometimes upwards of $40,000. Like that. Well, that seems like a pretty good way to start a Twitter storm. Influencers have friends who are influencers who have friends who are influencers, and now everyone's in the echo chamber going ham on there, well-intentioned, seeking justice about just how awful and soulless this business is and how they're leaving all of y'all out in the cold, and you're going on and on about it, just another thing in the mind-melting melange that is the feed, the constant injustice of the moment that we must be distracted by. Distracted from what? Oh, I don't know. A couple stolen seats here and there just to maintain control of the House and the Senate. Just a little bit. A few thousand votes here, a few thousand votes here, a few forgotten ballots here, a few unused machines there. And while people may start catching wise, maybe they'd start hashtagging stolen election, but what I'm saying is this. If you're a billionaire, you are working in billions and billions and billions of dollars and controlling the American economy, well, that just means you're going to make more billions of dollars. So to someone like that, would $70 million really be such a large waste, even if all it got you was a minor social media disaster that you could drop, taking over the hashtags for, at least 50 million or so followers across all their brands? You could occupy their day and time with your whole little drama just by closing your little digital production company on November 6th, 2018, Election Day. I don't know. I'm just saying what I see, folks. Just a little too much Googling. Oh, you know what I just remembered also? Alloy Digital. Break and Alloy Digital joined to form Defy Media. Their president, Matthew Diamond, where was it that he went to business school? Oh, yes. Harvard Business School. 7 years after, sharing an alumni network with none other than Swords and Blavatnik. So I don't know. Seems pretty tenuous, I suppose. All predicated on this one man and this one other man. Being friends, being connected, colluding, somehow, all because of a connection they shared at their Harvard Business School class of 1989. Well, I wonder if I Googled their names together, what would come up? Nothing. Literally one result. Some kind of strange directory site. Something from the bowels of the internet, and if that doesn't scream internet scrub job, then I don't know what does. It's all conjecture. I don't recommend Googling too far down these holes. I'm already on lists. I'm sure they're already listening. I'm sure they're watching. If they kill me, you'll know I was right. So I don't know. The closure of Defy Media and its beloved brands, Clever TV and Smaj. Was it just the closing of a bad asset? The loss of a poor investment strategy? Or was it something more? A well-laid plan, a strategy among an intricate, almost infinite web of overlapping strategies of intervention and corruption and collusion and shitposting by Russian meddlers looking to keep their Republican friends in power, looking to turn young, intelligent eyes and hearts another way while they stole your country and the future of the entire planet. I should smoke less weed.
Welcome to the Truth Zone, zone.
If they kill me, at least then you'll know I was right. I don't make this up. I just say what I see.